Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of the team because
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Matt Darr now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. He's got time. Over the middle, it's Thomas. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He's going to launch this thing, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Allen Robinson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Bengals getting set to go. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They send Green to the left on his own. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Derek Wolfe in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Here's Dalton. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And some room to work. And a cut to the left sideline. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Caught. Eifert over the middle. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, get into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Steps away to his left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Demaryius Thomas, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And they'll get set here looking for the two-point conversion. Hackenberg's going to throw for it. Being chased out left. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up two more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for them.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Brandon Marshall in there to get him the 6th time.